Hello and good morning, my creative friends. This is Dr. Minette Riordan. I am just back from a beautiful, cool, sunny walk. My husband commented that here it is early August and it already feels like that little bit of touch of fall is in the air, and there's still a lot of humidity. We've had so many rains, so much rain and showers and crazy hailstorms. It's been a dramatic weather week around here lately, but I'm super excited to be with you guys on a Monday, not my normal day. And I leave for Yellowstone for 5 days on Wednesday. So I'll only be here Monday and Tuesday this week. So welcome. I'm Dr. Minette Riordan. This is Painting in Your PJs with Minette. If you're new to my channel, I am all about art as creative process for personal growth and self-discovery. I love making pretty things, but I really love making things that are meaningful and impactful. And this month I'm working on a deck of cards that I'm calling an oracle deck, but I'm really thinking they're going to be visual storytelling prompts. I was teaching a workshop on Saturday and someone said they would make great prompts for improv. So you never know how people are going to use the magical things that you do create. But I'm learning about myself. I'm starting to think about my ideas as I kind of paint my way along the journey in August of creating a deck of cards. The theme of the cards is your midlife renaissance, which is also the name of a course I teach. I'm hoping these are going to be useful in that course. We'll see. Good morning, Leslie. And we'll see where we get to, but I'm having fun with the painting, and I'm painting abstract-ish faces, and faces are hard for me. They're a big challenge, but I'm loving what I've created so far. I started a couple the other day, so I'm going to work on finishing those up this morning. We'll be here for maybe just half an hour today as I finish these up and then off for a busy day of getting ready for our trip to Yellowstone, getting my business ready to be left for a few days and all that kind of good stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and change my screen. As always, thank you for watching. Thank you for watching live. Thank you for watching the replays. If you like what I'm creating, please hit the like button, subscribe so you get notified when there's new content on the channel, and we can help spread the word so I can continue to have fun doing this. I love being here with all of you. So thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so I had some fun with a couple of faces, and I'm feeling like my piece of paper here is getting kind of dirty. So let me find, I think something white to put these on is gonna be a little bit better. We can see that a little bit better. And if you're just joining me, I've been having a lot of fun over the last couple of weeks. I'm practicing drawing faces. I'm going to continue practicing drawing on my trip, so I feel like I have quite a few faces ready to go. I have some that feel I can't wait to paint them and transfer them to cards. I have some different styles inspired by different things that I saw online, and I'm kind of keeping track because I want all of them to be different. So as I use one of the faces that's in here, I'm kind of checking them off as I go. So I remember, you can see that one has a little check mark. So I can remember which ones that I used. And this is one that I started, and I'm not sure where the other one was inspired from, and it doesn't really matter, but it's a way to keep track of the process as I go. And I'm really loving the sketching practice. Doing that kind of preparation has been really, really impactful so far. I'm going to zoom my camera in and get that nice and focused. See, we want it to focus on those guys down there. And so these are the ones that I have created so far. Really having fun with these. I created this one the other morning. I didn't record this, I just recorded a short. But I loved how she came out. And I keep working on them, looking at them. I wouldn't say I think any of them are finished. I think that's the other thing to think about, is like I want to just get them going and not feel constrained by any kind of need to sort of just be, finishing things. And I think I'm going to start with this one. There we go. Just trying to get that lined up under the camera there. And so this was a painty background I'd already created. I have some base color down. I have some of the colors of her face, or the structure of her face down. It's a little bit hard to see. And I'm going to find, where's my piece of palette paper? I taught on Saturday, and then we were at my mom's all day yesterday, so it feels like my desk is a mess. So I'm just going to use this piece of paper here as a piece of palette paper for the moment, and that will be fine. Finally went and got some of my favorite Liquitex magenta. The other magenta I was using was such a heavy body that it wasn't doing quite what I wanted it to. And I am sticking with a palette throughout this whole process. I've got an Azo Yellow Deep, a quinacridone magenta, and a turquoise blue, and some black and some white. I haven't even really used the black at all, so mostly some white. And my white has disappeared that I was using. I think it got moved over to the other table. I'm working on a giant commission piece right now, which is super fun, but of course I have things spread out in different parts of my studio. This is an old mustard jar that I recycled because I had a big tub of white paint and I didn't like working out of the tub. Got a couple of really small brushes here. I have my palette, and I've got some gel pens. I think my poscas, my daughter commandeered my poscas, so they're on the other table as well. And I'm thinking I want to start maybe with just getting some more color in her hair. I kind of like the color of her face, so I'm maybe not going to add as much color. I like that she's transparent and I can see the underneath happening here as well, but she needs to get brightened up. I think I'm trying to decide if I want maybe one more layer of color in the background as well. And I'm wondering if I just come in with one more layer of yellow, if we can continue to just push that background back a little bit. So I'm going to start there. As always, I work very intuitively. I'm sort of trusting the process. I'm looking and waiting for really the painting to tell me what to do next. It's a very organic process. And my philosophy is you can't get it wrong. So as long as I just keep painting, eventually I'm going to get it going in the direction that I want it to go. And I definitely love this brighter yellow on here for sure. And I almost stuck my brush in my glass of water, so let's get some water going here. And it's still really glary, but if I move the glare, then we get too much shadow. I need Brad to come down and work his magic on my lighting setup again. A constant, ongoing process. All right. This brush may be too big. And I'm noticing the cards are, they're pretty busy, which I really love, all the marks and texture. And I'm wondering if some of them are going to end up being a little less busy. I love these big glasses. This was inspired by a piece I found online, and I'm just going to make my own here. Love her pink glasses. I'm going to bring just a little bit of that pink in here, a little bit of shadow under her neck there. And I think I like the purple on her hair, but it's not quite purple enough, so I'm going to see if I can mix up a brighter purple. Maybe just get a lighter shade and add some texture, some lines to the hair. And I should be mixing with a palette knife, but I'm mixing pretty small portions of hair, of color. And the difference here is going to be very, very subtle. You may not hardly be able to see that on the screen, but I want a little more opacity. Love kind of this big sort of beehive style, and it's definitely going to need just that little bit of white in here as well. Maybe we're even going to just continue to lighten that and build some of those layers. I'm going to come in with a tiny, tiny brush. And I was also thinking about, as I was looking at all the faces that I was creating, that this is, a deck that's going to be about how to experience a renaissance in midlife. And all of my women were looking a little young, so I'm thinking about how can I make sure that I have a variety of different types of faces, just not just racially different or ethnically different, but also a variety of ages. A little more wrinkles in the skin, a little more, texture on the faces. Loving that little teeny tiny brush is perfect for that. Again, this is about just, how can I just continue to build up those layers. And I'm thinking I'm going to have her blouse end up being more pink than purple. That's very pink. I don't think I want it that pink. And we just don't know until we try, right? So we just got to kind of get these colors on here. Definitely need some pattern on that blouse, and thinking I'm gonna, give her some little bit of arms down here too, so we can, not all shoulders, although I kind of like the shoulders. I'm gonna mix some more of my brown and see if we can clean up that neck a little bit. And I bend to sort of create those, okay, that didn't go the direction that I wanted, to create those browns, really just mixing all of my colors together to get those browner tones. That's a good highlight color, but we need a little bit darker as well. And part of this, what I'm learning on this process is not, how can I get better at faces, but I'm also learning more about color mixing, really. I don't think I've ever done anything where I stuck with a palette for this long. And I know the benefits of doing that, but I also get bored easily, right? And so I think about, how can I stick with this and not get bored? And we'll see. It's going to be an adventure. I managed to complete my first ever 100-day project this year, which was really fun. But I picked a theme, but I otherwise didn't limit myself. My theme was artsy animals, but I let the rest go, right? It didn't matter what the style was, the size was, the media was. I just used that theme of animals. Maybe we're going to give her a few little wrinkles here. All right, she's coming together. I like where she's going. Definitely thinking I want something different in the background, and I have these dark sort of random circles from the stencil, so I may go in and just bring color back to those circles to give some pattern there. That a little bit too light. And you guys, my daughter is so amazing. So she has had more fun making packing lists for our trips and has started. She got our picnic biscuit basket all packed yesterday and a lot of the kitchen stuff packed. And she has a list of things to pack and of things that have been packed. This is where I'm feeling like I need just a little touch of black in here for some darkers, but I'm wondering what I can do to maybe mix some of that as well. But I think I want just a tiny bit of black to darken up some of these colors. Thank you. Me too. Super cute. She needs some eyes, and then she'll start to really come alive for sure. I'm going to mix just a little of that black into my brown over here. As always with acrylics, I'm working very dry. I want to make sure that that paint stays where I want it to go. It's very different than, working with watercolor. And this one still needs the kind of, signature dramatic black lines that I love so much. So I'm going to have to go maybe set this one aside for now and find where my poscas went. So I can give her those signature outlines, but I'm going to get some of these details on here. And she needs an arm on her glasses here. So we kind of get that, sense a little bit that she's kind of looking off to the side, off to the distance a little bit. And she needs an ear. Needs part of an ear, which is also going to help us get that little bit of sense there. And sometimes we have to go darker and then, build those colors back up, but I like where she's coming along. This definitely needs some blue added to it to kind of keep our palette going here. But she's off to a good start. And I agree, Leslie. I definitely am liking her hair. Maybe even a few more white highlights in there. I'm looking at her and she reminds me of my friend Teresa, who has beautiful white hair. All right, that's better. It gives her just a little bit more character there. And I'm going to come in here. I don't usually work with a tiny brush like this. It's a challenge. I will definitely come in with some kind of a pen to get more details in her eyes. Look at already just giving her eyes like makes such a huge difference. It's exactly, good morning, Blanca. That's exactly what I was thinking. Leslie, great minds think alike, is that she needs a big dangly, some dangly gold hoops. So I might come in, or dangly silver hoops. So I might come in just with a pen and give her some big hoops. All right. And she's starting to have some personality and character here. I feel like she just needs a little bit more highlight on her nose there. And I love sometimes like in a small space because I love working with my fingers, but sometimes my fingers are too big for this space. So it's okay to come in with that. A dry, clean brush can really help to mix some of that paint. And I'm getting that color on her lips, and again, I'll come back in with a pen and add those final details on there. All right, we're getting there. Yeah, it's easier to do the white last, whether you do it with a posca marker or with a gel pen, right, to fill in, or a tiny brush like I did, because then you're have a better sense of the placement. So it just tends to work better for me personally. Okay. So that brush is scraggly on the ends. It's not going to give me a nice clean round circle. I could come back in with a stencil again, but I'm feeling like just a few fun big polka dots in the background. A bigger pattern. The other ones have a lot of really tiny details. And these are probably going to get some more details and marks added. All right. Better. I agree about the earring. Excuse me. I got her ear there just a little too dark. So I'm going to come back in with some of my lighter brown there. Cute, cute. Okay, so let's see. We've got some circles on there. I'm thinking it would be fun to have some diamonds on her blouse as a pattern, and I'm trying to decide if I want to give her just a little bit more shape here. Where she feels sort of grandmotherly, so maybe we'll do some little hearts on here. No, I'm kind of liking some funky little diamond shapes. And it's interesting, the pencil is scraping all the way through to the background paint colors, which is fine. I'm going to paint over it all anyway. But always good just to notice what your materials and your supplies do as you go along. So let's come in with some white on here. And then we'll let that get dry and we'll do some pops of yellow over the top of that white. And I'm also going to paint out these little triangles where I drew her arms, and those are going to become yellow also to match the background up there, or they could be blue as if they were polka dots behind. Maybe some of all of it back there to give it kind of that, just like there's a different color behind, and we've got a little bit of a body shape, and that'll all be like more dramatic and stand out more once I add the bold black lines. And I have so many like half dead markers around, including this one. I keep them around because sometimes you want that kind of half black look, but really most of the time I want something nice and flowy. Let's see, here's another one of these, if this is a newer one. Yeah, ish. But at least will give me an idea of where I'm going. And, ooh, that one's better. And I love these too. This is a Fudenosoki. It's always a hard way to say. It's also by Tombow, and it has this gorgeous rubber flexible nib that I love. So I'm going to get her super dry, and we're going to add some black. I'm going to pick her up because I don't want to also dry all the paint on my palette. It's been so humid, it's taking paint to dry longer than usual here, which I usually have the opposite problem where things dry too fast. And that's what she needed down there to make sure that we make it look like arms. I can't talk and focus on all these like little tiny spaces at the same time, apparently. And she needs some eyelids in there too. There's something about adding the black around everything that for me gives it that kind of folk arty flavor that I really love. And I'm thinking I want to brighten up her glasses with maybe a little bit of gel pen or something sparkly, and that her glasses have kind of, these are very square over here. Do I want to, and I kind of like this square, which means I just need to square up these corners a little bit. So we'll paint over that so we get those corners kind of squared up and matching. And then we're going to give her some big dangly hoops here too. We'll probably just be able to see a little bit of that hoop under there. And that'll also get something colorful and sparkly. All right, she's definitely coming alive, and I am about out of time for today. I think the last thing I'm going to do for right now is add the yellow here. I'd rather sit here and paint all day, but oof, do I have a long to-do list? Anybody else have a long to-do list today? And I love seeing this little family of ladies growing. Like it's very fun to watch them really start to pile up. Continuing to just brighten up that yellow background. All right, I don't know if she's done, but it feels like she's done for now, and it's time to let her dry completely and sit aside, step aside for a minute. And I will be back tomorrow with another face. I will finish up this one that I started yesterday morning when I was just sitting here. I was on a call with some friends. Long list of house chores and baby care. Yeah, I have kitty care, but no baby care. So enjoy the grandbaby, enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you, everyone, as always, for joining me live or watching the replay. Yep, I'm liking her. She has a few little touch-ups, but I think she's pretty close to being done. So super, super fun. Thanks everybody for joining me. Love being here with all of you, and I will see you tomorrow. Remember, this week I am only here Monday and Tuesday, and then I'm off to Yellowstone for 5 days. Bye everybody. Have a great rest of your day.